The door explodes inward at 3:07 a.m. Vanessa Cole's eyes snap open. 6 officers storm her bedroom, guns aimed at her chest. Officer Hayes, white, late 30s, grabs her arm and yanks her from the bed. He slams her face first onto the hardwood floor. His knee digs into her spine. "Stay down." Cold metal handcuffs bite her wrists. She's wearing silk pajamas. No badge visible. Just a black woman they assume is guilty. "I'm a federal prosecutor." "Check the warrant name." "Yeah, and I'm the president." "Shut your mouth." Hayes grabs her laptop from the coffee table. Other officers tear through her apartment. Couch cushions fly. Kitchen cabinets crash open. Glass shatters. "You people always have excuses." On her front porch, a red light blinks steadily. Her Ring doorbell camera captures everything. Her phone in the nightstand records clear audio. If you've ever been judged wrong, comment below. Hit subscribe because what happens next will destroy them. 18 hours earlier, Monday morning at 9 a.m., Vanessa Cole sits at her kitchen table with a cup of coffee and 3 case files spread in front of her. She's been a federal prosecutor for 12 years, started in the Civil Rights Division right out of law school, worked her way up through drug trafficking cases, public corruption investigations, and police misconduct trials. Now she leads the most important case of her career, the Special Operations Unit, SOU for short, an elite police task force that's supposed to target high-level drug dealers and violent criminals, except the evidence tells a different story. 47 raids in 18 months, all in black neighborhoods, all with questionable warrants, all resulting in no charges, no drugs found, but plenty of destroyed property and traumatized families. Vanessa has been building this case for 8 months. She has witness statements, body camera footage with suspicious gaps, and a pattern that's impossible to ignore. 3 days from now, her key witness testifies before a grand jury. A former SOU detective is ready to confirm everything she suspects. Her phone rings. It's James Bradford, a fellow prosecutor. "Vanessa, you need to be careful. That narcotics task force you're investigating? They're getting desperate. Word on the street is they know you're close." She takes a sip of coffee. "They won't touch a federal prosecutor, James. Don't be so sure. Desperate people do desperate things." She hangs up and returns to her files. On her laptop screen, a spreadsheet tracks every SOU raid by date, location, officer names, and outcome. She's identified 3 officers who appear in 90% of the incidents. Captain Vincent Monroe leads them all. Her email pings. Anonymous sender, no subject line, just 3 words in the body. "Drop it now." She deletes it, then reopens her trash folder and screenshots it, saves it to a cloud drive she set up specifically for threats like this. She's received 11 similar messages in the past 2 months. At 7 p.m., her mother calls from 200 miles away. "Baby, are you eating? Are you safe in that neighborhood?" Vanessa looks around her apartment. Northwest D.C., historic black community that's been gentrifying fast. She moved here 5 years ago because she wanted to be part of the community she serves. "Mama, I'm fine. I'm always careful. I worry about you. All those police you're going after. What if they come after you?" "They won't. I have the law on my side." After dinner, she installs a new Ring doorbell camera, her 3rd one this year. The previous 2 mysteriously stopped working during critical moments. She triple-checks the settings, makes sure it uploads to the cloud automatically. At 10:30 p.m., she receives an email from her lead investigator. The subject line reads, "SOU investigation, new evidence." The attachment contains updated spreadsheets, tracking officer assignments, overtime payments, and addresses raided. She immediately copies everything to her personal secure cloud storage. Before bed, she walks through her apartment and checks every lock, front door, back door, windows. It's unusual for her. She's never been paranoid before, but something feels different now. The threats are more frequent. The tone is more aggressive. She places her phone on the nightstand and opens her recording app. She set it to activate automatically when it detects loud noises, a habit she developed after prosecuting a domestic violence case where the victim's phone recording became the key evidence. Her last conscious thought before sleep is about her father. He was a police officer in the 1970s, quit after 15 years because he couldn't stomach what his fellow officers were doing to black communities. He'd be proud of this case. He'd tell her to keep going no matter what. The bedroom lights go off at 11:47 p.m. 4 hours and 20 minutes later, her front door explodes inward. 3:07 a.m. Tuesday morning. 6 officers from the Special Operations Unit stand in Vanessa's bedroom, the same unit she's been investigating for 8 months. Officer Hayes pulls out the search warrant and waves it in her face while she's still handcuffed on the floor. Vanessa Coleman, narcotics distribution. This address. She twists her head to read it. My name is Cole. C-O-L-E, not Coleman. That's a different person. Hayes barely glances at the paper. Typo. Happens all the time. A typo doesn't make the warrant valid. You need to verify. Lady, I don't need you telling me how to do my job. Officer Jennifer Reeves, a younger white woman, kneels down and checks Vanessa's driver's license that fell from the nightstand. She holds it up. Garrett, her ID, says Cole. The warrant, says Coleman. Hayes snatches the license. Look at it for maybe 2 seconds. Toss it back. Close enough. Same address. Keep searching. Vanessa's voice stays calm but firm. Under the Fourth Amendment, you need probable cause for the correct person. The name discrepancy makes this warrant void. Are you a lawyer or something? Hayes smirks. I'm a federal prosecutor, and you just violated my constitutional rights. The other officers stop searching. The room goes silent for exactly 3 seconds. Then Hayes laughs. Sure you are. And I'm a brain surgeon. He turns to his team. She's probably got priors. They always claim to be someone important. Keep looking. They ransack her apartment with renewed aggression. One officer dumps her kitchen drawers onto the floor. Silverware clatters and scatters. Another tears books off shelves in her home office. A third opens her refrigerator and starts pulling out containers, opening them, sniffing them. Vanessa watches from the floor, her cheek pressed against hardwood, handcuffs cutting into her wrists. She starts counting violations in her head. Forced entry with invalid warrant, excessive force during apprehension, refusal to verify identity, continued search after notification of error. Each one a clear violation of federal law. Her work laptop sits on the coffee table, unencrypted because she was reviewing files before bed. Inside are confidential case documents, witness lists, grand jury schedules. If they access it, her entire investigation could be compromised. Hayes picks up the laptop. What's on here? Attorney-client privileged information. You need a separate warrant to search that. We'll let a judge decide. He tries to open it. That's obstruction of justice under Title 18, Section 1519. Hayes pauses, just for a moment. Then he shoves the laptop into an evidence bag. Vanessa positions her body between him and the coffee table, even handcuffed. You're making a mistake. He pushes her aside. She stumbles and hits the bookshelf. Books cascade down. One strikes her shoulder. Another clips her lip. She tastes blood. Resisting arrest. Add it to the list. Hayes writes something on his notepad. Outside, Vanessa's neighbor, Mrs. Patricia Washington, 67 years old, wakes to the commotion. She's lived next door for 30 years, knows Vanessa is a prosecutor, knows something is very wrong. Mrs. Washington grabs her phone and starts recording through her window. She can see the broken front door, the flashlights moving inside. She calls her neighbor Antoine Morris, who lives on the other side. Antoine, 29, a high school teacher, comes into the hallway in his pajamas. He hears furniture crashing, voices shouting. He pulls out his phone and opens Instagram Live. Something's happening at Vanessa's place. This doesn't look right. 14 people join his stream immediately. Inside the apartment, Officer Reeves finally speaks up louder. Garrett. Garrett. Hayes turns, annoyed. What? She's standing in the kitchen, holding up a badge. Federal prosecutor badge, with Vanessa Cole's photo on it. The room goes completely silent. Hayes stares at the badge in Reeves's hand. 4 seconds of silence. Then he snatches it and examines it closely. Turn it over. Check the photo. Checks Vanessa on the floor. Doesn't matter. Warrant's valid for this address. Vanessa's voice cuts through the room. The warrant is for Vanessa Coleman. I'm Vanessa Cole. Different person. You know this now. Continuing makes it deliberate. We'll sort it downtown. On what grounds? You have no probable cause for me. The judge signed the warrant for this address. A warrant with false information is void. Franks versus Delaware. Hayes's jaw tightens. You think you're smart? Citing cases in cuffs? Reeves steps closer. Garrett, she's the DOJ. We need to call this in. I'm handling it. You're making it worse. The other officers exchange glances. One speaks up. Maybe we should get a supervisor. Hayes wheels on him. I said I'm handling it. Vanessa sees her opening. Officer Reeves is right. Call your supervisor. Verify my identity. Because right now, you're committing federal civil rights violations. Hayes moves closer, looms over her. Are you threatening me? I'm informing you of the law. He reaches for her laptop again. Vanessa moves between him and it, still handcuffed. That contains active federal investigations, confidential informant identities. Touching it without authorization is a federal crime. Hayes shoves her hard. She crashes into the bookshelf. Her shoulder hits the corner. Pain explodes down her arm. Books tumble. A framed photo of her father shatters on the floor. Blood runs from her split lip. Metallic taste fills her mouth. Outside, Antoine's Instagram stream hits 800 viewers. Comments flood. Is that the prosecutor? This is illegal. Someone record this. Mrs. Washington films through her window. Her hands shake. Timestamp reads 3:17 a.m. Hayes pulls out a small notebook from his pocket. Vanessa watches through the pane. Her prosecutor brain cataloged everything. He's preparing to plant evidence. They came to destroy her investigation by destroying her credibility. What are you doing? Her voice stays steady. Hayes ignores her. Walk toward the bedroom. Reeves blocks him. Garrett, stop. Move. No, this is wrong. I said move. He pushes past her. Reeves pulls out her phone. Texts fast. Desperate. The apartment looks destroyed. Couch shredded. Cabinets open. Broken dishes. Spilled food. Photos torn from walls. One officer helps Vanessa sit against the wall. I'm sorry. This isn't right. Then stop it. I can't. He's my supervisor. Antoine's stream hits 1,200 viewers. Someone screens records and posts to Twitter. It spreads fast. Local journalists wake to notifications. Taylor Carter, crime reporter, sees it at 3:22 a.m., recognizes Vanessa from press conferences, grabs her gear and runs. Hayes emerges from the bedroom empty-handed, face red, frustrated. Whatever he planned, he couldn't do it with Reeves watching, with neighbors filming, with the live stream going. He is trapped. His radio crackles. Unit 7, status? Hayes hesitates, keys the mic. I need a supervisor, now. Copy. Lieutenant Brennan en route, 12 minutes. Vanessa locks eyes with Hayes. Blood on her lip, cuffs on her wrists. But something shifted in her expression. She's not afraid. She's a federal prosecutor who watched 6 officers violate her rights while being recorded from multiple angles. They didn't raid the wrong house. They raided a prosecutor investigating them and created evidence of their own crimes. Hayes sees it. That shift. He made a catastrophic mistake. His hand trembles as he clips the radio back. Reeves catches Vanessa's gaze. Silent understanding passes between them. Reeves knows what happened, and she texted someone. The room waits. Officers froze. Vanessa is bleeding. Camera recording. 12 minutes until everything changes. 3:24 a.m. 17 minutes since the raid started. Heavy footsteps echo up the stairwell outside. Lieutenant Sarah Brennan enters the apartment. White woman, 48, 26 years on the force. She surveys the destruction. Broken door, shattered glass. Officers standing rigid. Then she sees Vanessa on the floor in handcuffs, blood on her face. What the hell happened here? Her eyes land on the federal badge still in Hayes' hand. Then on Vanessa. Recognition flashes across her face. Oh my God. Brennan prosecuted a corruption case last year that involved Brennan's department. The case was clean, professional. Brennan respected her work. Now she's seeing her handcuffed and bleeding in her own home. Uncuff her, now. Hayes doesn't move. But the warrant... I said uncuff her. Brennan's voice cuts like steel. Before this becomes a federal incident. Hayes fumbles with his keys, removes the cuffs. Vanessa's wrists are raw, deep red impressions where the metal bit into skin. Brennan helps her stand. Miss Cole, I'm so sorry. There's been a terrible mistake. Vanessa's voice is ice cold. A mistake? Or deliberate? She pulls her phone from the nightstand. Still recording, 41 minutes of clear audio. I have everything. Audio of them being told the name was wrong. Audio of them continuing anyway. My neighbor has a video, and your body cameras better show it all. Brennan's face goes pale. Hayes tries to justify. The warrant was signed by Judge Reynolds. It's legal. For Vanessa Coleman. Vanessa cuts him off. I'm Vanessa Cole. Different person. You were informed within 2 minutes. You continued for 15 more. Why? Silence. Let me guess. You didn't check twice because you didn't care. Or you knew exactly what you were doing. Hayes opens his mouth. Close it. Vanessa turns to Brennan. Do you know what cases I'm working on? Brennan hesitates. Something in her expression shifts. Worry replacing anger. I'm investigating pattern and practice violations. Special Operations Unit. 47 raids in 18 months. All black neighborhoods. All questionable warrants or wrong addresses. Vanessa looks directly at Hayes. You're SOU, aren't you? The room freezes. Every officer stops moving. Brennan's eyes go wide. He raided the prosecutor investigating his own unit. Outside, Antoine's live stream explodes. 12,400 viewers now. Comments scrolling too fast to read. Someone screen recorded the stream and posted it to TikTok. 89,000 views in the first hour. The caption reads, "They raided the prosecutor investigating them." Local journalist Taylor Carter pulls up outside. See the broken door. The police vehicles. She starts filming. Reddit thread appears on Bad Cop No Donut. 4,200 upvotes in 30 minutes. The evidence is spreading faster than anyone can contain it. Inside, Brennan's hand goes to her radio, then stops. She's calculating. This is bigger than a wrong address. This is retaliation against a federal prosecutor. This is a career ending, department ending. Everyone out. Now. Officers file toward the door. Hayes lingers. Vanessa photographs the damage with her phone. Broken furniture, shattered picture frames, her father's photo in pieces. Every image time-stamped and geotagged. Hayes watches her document everything. This isn't over. Vanessa looks up, meets his eyes. No, it's just beginning. She photographs the evidence log on his clipboard. Items listed that were never found. Prepared evidence that didn't get planted because they were interrupted. Hayes sees her see it. His face drains of color. Mrs. Washington's video from the window. Antoine's live stream. The Ring doorbell footage. Her phone's audio recording. And now photos of falsified evidence logs. They came to destroy her case. Instead, they built hers. 6 a.m., 3 hours after the raid. News vans line the street outside Vanessa's building. Taylor Carter breaks the story online. The headline reads, "Federal prosecutor raided by unit she's investigating." Within 20 minutes, the Associated Press picks it up. By 7 a.m., it's national. CNN, MSNBC, Fox News. Every major outlet runs it. Vanessa's face on screens across the country. She declines all interviews. Strategic silence. Let the facts speak. 7:30 a.m. Police Chief David Park holds an emergency press conference. We are reviewing the incident. Officer safety is paramount. The warrant was legally obtained. We take all concerns seriously. Reporters shout questions. He walks off after 90 seconds. He never mentions the name discrepancy. Never acknowledges they continued after being told. Never explains why they raided a prosecutor investigating them. 9 a.m. The city attorney's office issues a statement. While the warrant was valid for the address, we regret any inconvenience to Miss Cole. Inconvenience. The word goes viral immediately. Memes flood social media. The door kicked in at 3 a.m. Inconvenience. Guns pointed at you? Inconvenience. Handcuffed and bleeding? Inconvenience. Public opinion splits predictably. Civil rights groups demand investigation. NAACP Legal Defense Fund offers assistance. Protest scheduled Wednesday at City Hall. Justice for Vanessa Cole hits 340,000 tweets by noon. But the other side mobilizes too. She probably was doing something illegal. Why didn't she just comply? She's weaponizing her position. The police union releases a statement. Our officers followed procedure. They acted on a valid warrant. Any criticism ignores split-second decisions officers must make. 8 a.m. Vanessa's supervisor calls. U.S. Attorney Gerald Hammond. Vanessa, are you okay? Do you need time off? She's in her destroyed apartment, coffee in hand. I need to keep working. They tried to sideline me. You're both a victim and investigator now. That's complicated. Then bring in oversight. But I'm not stopping. The DOJ headquarters is watching. This could get political. It already is. That's why they came. 9:30 a.m. Unknown number calls. Miss Cole, this is the Deputy Mayor's office. Unofficial. Off record. I'm recording this. Pause. Perhaps we could resolve this quietly. For everyone's benefit. Avoid litigation. Unnecessary attention. Drop the investigation. We'll drop the misunderstandings. I don't do quiet when civil rights are violated. She hangs up. Screenshots the call log. Save to the cloud. 10:15 a.m. She requests body camera footage. Standard is 48 hours. Police legally respond. Processing time estimated at 30 days. 30 days. They're stalling. Buying time to edit. Coordinate stories. Vanessa files a federal motion to compel. Cites obstruction. Bad faith delay. Anonymous sources feed the media. Prosecutor under investigation for leaking grand jury information. Completely false, but it muddies water. Conservative blogs run it. Deep state prosecutor attacks police. Vanessa's allies counter. Her 14 consecutive victories. Spotless record. Reputation for fairness. But doubt spreads faster than truth. Noon. GoFundMe appears. Legal defense for Vanessa Cole. Hits 47,000 in 4 hours. She'll donate it all to civil rights funds. TikTok explodes with explainer videos, law students breaking down the violations. Combined views hit 2 million by afternoon. Instagram graphics circulate. Timeline of the raid versus timeline of her investigation. Side-by-side comparison. YouTube commentary channels pick it up. Major creators covering it. Combined reach over 5 million subscribers. The story has escaped local containment. It's national now. International outlets calling. BBC, Al Jazeera, CBC, 11:47 a.m. Vanessa receives an encrypted email. No sender name. The subject line reads, "You're not the first." Attached is a spreadsheet. 23 names. All prosecutors, public defenders, or activists. All rated by SOU in the past 2 years. All cases dropped or careers destroyed. Her hands shake reading it. This isn't random. It's a pattern. A system. Her raid wasn't about drugs, wasn't about a typo. It was about silencing her, just like they silenced 23 others before her. But they made one critical mistake. They raided someone who knows exactly how to build a federal case, someone with resources, connections, authority. They didn't just kick in a door. They kicked in the door of the one person who could expose everything. Tuesday afternoon, Vanessa opens the encrypted email attachment. 23 names load on screen. She recognizes some immediately. Devin Harris, public defender, raided 2 a.m. last year. Wrong address, phone confiscated. His case collapsed without client communications. Never filed a complaint, too afraid. Lorraine Simmons, investigative journalist, raided after publishing police overtime fraud article. Anonymous drug tip, nothing found. The editor suspended her. Credibility destroyed. Reverend Thomas Wright, community organizer, raided during family dinner. 8-year-old daughter watched guns pointed at her father, still in therapy. He was organizing a body camera petition. Petition died. Supporters were too scared. 23 people, 23 raids. All inconvenient to the police, Vanessa creates a new spreadsheet, adds columns, raid date, prior legal action date, time gap, pattern emerges fast. 98% of raids within 7 days of actions against police. Devin filed a brutality case motion, raided 4 days later. Lorraine's article Tuesday, raided Friday. Wright's petition Monday, raided Thursday. Vanessa's testimony Friday, raided Tuesday 3 a.m. Not a coincidence. Design, Wednesday morning. She subpoenas SOU internal communications. Has files by noon. She finds a memo. Captain Monroe, 18 months old. Priority address verification protocol. Bureaucratic language hiding truth. Enhanced vigilance regarding addresses associated with operational security concerns. A target list. Monroe's signature on 19 of 23 warrants. Wednesday afternoon. Encrypted email again. Same sender. I left because I couldn't be part of this. Slack screenshots attached. SOU internal chat. Officers joking about defensive operations. Monroe wrote, "Cole's getting too close. Handle it." Timestamp, 72 hours before her raid. Sender identifies himself. Anthony Rivera, former SOU. I resigned 6 months ago, willing to testify. They meet in a secure location. Rivera was nervous, hands shaking. They called it defensive operations. Someone causes problems, Monroe assigns an address check. Find reason for warrant. It didn't matter how thin. Judge Reynolds always signed. Always, Reynolds? Always. Monroe had something on her. She signed everything. Rivera provides training materials. Proactive threat neutralization, PowerPoint. Photos of SOU office board. Push pins marking addresses. Red completed, yellow monitoring. Vanessa's address was yellow 2 months ago. Red after the raid. Thursday morning. Dr. Keisha Okonkwo arrives. Forensic accountant. Best in country. Vanessa gives her SOU budget records via subpoena. 6 hours later, Dr. Okonkwo calls her in. Overtime spikes during defensive operations. Officers get paid extra for these raids. Hayes, 14,300 in 6 months. All from raids on the victim list. Monroe authorized 340,000 total. Monroe's personal finances. Paid 80,000 mortgage in 18 months. Impossible on salary. Tax returns show no other income. The bank shows 4,200 monthly cash deposits. Source unknown. Thursday evening. Vanessa interviews victims. Devin Harris first. Still scared, but talking. They took my phone. Never returned it. All client notes are gone. The case fell apart. My client took a bad plea deal. File complaint? Against cops while a public defender? Career suicide. I stayed quiet. Lorraine Simmons next. Former journalist. Retail now. The editor suspended me pending an investigation. The investigation never ended. Eventually I quit. Sources stopped talking. Said I was radioactive. Reverend Wright last. Brings daughter's therapy notes. Vanessa reads them. The girl draws police in black with red eyes. Write bad men repeatedly. She won't sleep alone. Wakes screaming. Thousands in therapy. Why stop the petition? Look at my daughter. I couldn't risk them coming back. Thursday night. Full picture assembled. Not rogue officers. A system. Identify threats. Fabricate cause. Reynolds signs. SOU raids. Target destroyed. Media covers for them. 23 documented. 40 more likely undocumented. Too scared to report. Federal civil rights violation. Title 42. Section 1983. Pattern of deprivation under color of law. Possible RICO. Criminal enterprise. Her wall becomes a conspiracy board. Photos. Timelines. Financial records. Red string connecting. Friday morning. FBI agent Nicole Torres calls. Civil Rights Division. 6-month preliminary inquiry into SOU. Your case is our catalyst. Work with us? What do you need? Everything. And you. Vanessa sends everything. ACLU calls. NAACP Legal Defense Fund. Local civil rights lawyers. Class action lawsuit. All 23 victims. Vanessa led plaintiff and co-counsel. Unprecedented. Federal prosecutor as victim and attorney. 3 former SOU officers reach out anonymously. Whistleblowers. They provide training, PowerPoint. Proactive threat neutralization. Steps for identifying targets. Building thin warrants. Post-raid narratives. Photos of the trophy board. 47 addresses marked. 23 red. Completed. Her address circled. They were proud. Thursday 11:34 p.m. The phone rings. Unknown number. She almost ignores it. Miss Cole? Judge Reynolds. I need to meet you. Tonight. Alone. Why? I'm not the villain you think, but I know who it is. If I don't tell you now, I'll be dead by morning. Friday, 12:30 a.m. Vanessa meets Judge Eleanor Reynolds at a closed diner on the edge of town. Public location for safety. Reynolds is 63, 27 years on the bench, and her hands shake as she wraps them around a coffee cup she hasn't touched. They threatened my granddaughter, Reynolds says without preamble. Showed me photos of her at school. Which classroom? Which door does she use every morning? Vanessa waits. Let her talk. Captain Monroe approached me 18 months ago. Started friendly. Said my son's DUI arrest could be handled quietly. No record, no publicity. Then came the pressure. Sign warrants fast. Don't scrutinize. When I questioned one warrant, I got an anonymous email with my son's mugshot. The caption said, "Imagine if this leaked." Reynolds slides a folder across the table. Inside are copies of 31 warrant applications Monroe brought her. Vanessa flips through them quickly. The affidavits use identical language. Copy-paste probable cause. Some are signed by officers who weren't even on duty on those dates. "I kept these out of guilt," Reynolds whispers. "I knew what I was doing was wrong, but I was afraid for my family." Friday, 8 p.m. Vanessa returns to the courthouse parking garage and finds all 4 tires on her car slashed. A note sits under the wiper blade. 3 words in block letters. "Drop it now." She checks for security cameras. The footage malfunctioned. How convenient. She reports it to the police. They arrive 3 hours later. Standard response time is 15 minutes. Saturday morning brings a new attack. Someone files an anonymous complaint against her with the Bar Association. It alleges conflict of interest and abuse of position. Completely baseless, but it requires a formal written response that will consume hours she doesn't have. Worse, it leaks to the media within hours. Prosecutor under ethics investigation runs as a headline. The damage spreads before she can respond. Saturday afternoon, her mother calls from 200 miles away. Her voice is shaking so badly Vanessa barely understands her at first. "Men came to my house, said they were investigators, asked if you have drug problems, mental health issues, money troubles. They took photos of the house, baby. They know where I live. What did you tell them?" "Nothing, but I'm scared. This isn't worth your life. Please." The plea hangs in the air. Vanessa has no answer that will comfort her mother. That evening, her supervisor, Gerald Hammond, calls with worse news. DOJ headquarters is concerned about optics. Political pressure from city officials with federal connections is mounting. They're strongly suggesting she recuse from all related cases. Hammond personally disagrees, but his hands are being tied from above. She's being isolated from institutional support. Sunday morning, she wakes to find her confidential investigation strategy memo posted on the police union website. Someone from her own team leaked it. She knows who. Daniel Foster, the ambitious junior attorney she trusted. Now Sao Yu knows every move she was planning. By afternoon, 3 coalition members called to back out. "This is too dangerous. Maybe we should settle." Devin Harris is apologetic but firm. "I have kids. I can't risk them coming back." One by one, her allies fall away. Fear is contagious. Sunday night at 11:47, Vanessa sits alone in her still-damaged apartment with a glass of wine she isn't drinking. Her phone shows 47 missed calls and over 200 threatening messages. Her home address has been posted online with explicit threats. She looks at the case files spread across her floor. 23 victim names, 24 counting her own. She thinks about Reverend Wright's 8-year-old daughter who still wakes up screaming. Vanessa picks up her phone and scrolls to her saved voicemails. Finds the one from her father who died 5 years ago. His voicemail greeting. "Hey, sweetheart, it's Dad. Call me when you can." She dials his old number and starts to leave a message. "Daddy, I don't know if I can do this. They're hurting everyone I love. Maybe I should." She stops. Look at the 23 names again, deletes the recording and calls back. "Daddy, I know what you'd say. Do the right thing even when it's hard, especially when it's hard. I will, I promise." She falls asleep on the couch at 2 a.m. with case files as her pillow. Her phone buzzes at 2:47, then again, and again. Finally, she looks. Text from Antoine. Vanessa checked Twitter now. She opens the app. A video is going viral. 4.7 million views in 2 hours. The title reads, "Police Captain Caught on Hot Mic. That black bitch won't stop until we stop her." It's Monroe talking to Hayes in a squad car. Their body cam was accidentally left on. And someone just leaked everything. Monday, 3 a.m. Vanessa watches the video for the 5th time. Monroe and Hayes sit in their patrol car after raiding her apartment. Body cam mounted on dashboard. Still recording. They don't notice. Monroe's voice is clear. "That black bitch won't stop until we stop her." Hayes sounds worried. "What if the feds get involved?" "Then we make sure she's not credible. Plant something if we have to." "We already tried. Not hard enough." Next time, no witnesses. By 6 a.m., the video hits 8.2 million views. Trending #1 worldwide. Every outlet covers it. FBI announces formal investigation by 9. The source reveals herself at 10. Officer Jennifer Reeves, the woman who found Vanessa's badge. Guilt consumed her for days. She accessed the body cam server, found the footage, and sent it to 3 journalists anonymously. Administration places Reeves on leave immediately, but the ACLU takes her case within hours. Wrongful retaliation lawsuit filed by noon. Reeves gave a tearful interview that afternoon. I saw her badge and knew we were wrong. Should have stopped it. Didn't. Can't live with that anymore. The interview goes viral. 1.3 million views by evening. Even conservative voices struggle defending Monroe after hearing his words. Monday afternoon brings technical allies. Data analysts volunteer to examine all SOU body cam footage from 2 years. They work overnight. Tuesday morning they present findings. 87 instances of cameras malfunctioning at critical moments. Pattern statistically impossible to be accidental. Digital forensics proves intentional disabling. Specific button sequence pressed before each malfunction. Same sequence every time. Trained procedure. Georgetown Law Clinic joins as amicus. Professor Helena Moss publishes analysis. Textbook systemic retaliation against those who challenge authority. Same pattern as 1960s targeting civil rights attorneys. Same playbook, different decade. Her scholarship adds legal weight, makes dismissal as an isolated incident impossible. Tuesday 9 a.m. Reverend Thomas Wright organizes the Justice for 23 Coalition. Each victim was assigned a pro bono attorney from major firms. Millions in legal representation secured within hours. Town hall scheduled Tuesday night. 2,000 RSVP in 6 hours. Momentum building is unstoppable. Tech team recovers deleted footage from server backups. Everything is stored. Deletion only marks files hidden. They found a complete story. Hayes removed items from evidence bags during previous raids. Officers laughed about wrong addresses afterward. Monroe briefing the team before Vanessa's raid. Make it look good whether we find anything. Need her discredited. All time-stamped. Metadata intact. Chain of custody preserved. Raw, unedited footage impossible to dispute. Dr. Okonkwo digs deeper into finances. The SOU overtime budget increased 340% over 2 years. Approved directly by the Deputy Mayor's office. She cross-references campaign records. Deputy Mayor Thomas Berkshire received $250,000 in police union donations during the same period. Money trail clear. Union protects SOU. SOU protects union interests. Politicians approving budgets get funded. Closed corruption loop. Tuesday, 11 a.m. Detective Raymond Shaw comes forward. Former SOU who transferred out 8 months ago. Provides personal journal documenting pressure to participate in defensive operations. We were told critics were enemies. Treat them like combatants. Neutralize threats before they grow. Monroe's exact words in briefings. Shaw provides training documents, PowerPoints, memos, email chains, everything. Most damaging is cultural testimony. There weren't a few bad apples. It was the tree. The whole system is designed to protect itself by attacking questioners. Tuesday, 2 p.m. Judge Reynolds cooperates officially. Requests immunity for coerced cooperation. Granted, she becomes a government witness. Provides emails showing Monroe sent pre-filled warrant applications. Just needed signatures. One email, 11:43 p.m. reads, "Need signature tonight, Judge. Can I come by?" For Vanessa's warrant, an application was submitted at 11:47 p.m. Signed 11:52 p.m. 5 minutes total. Impossible to properly review. Reynolds admits on record. He parked outside my house at midnight, said time sensitive. Drug dealer. Children at risk. I trusted him. Signed without reading. I was wrong. I was afraid. Tuesday, 3 p.m. FBI raids Monroe's office. Find a digital file labeled priorities.doc. 67 names. Activists, lawyers, journalists, officials. Each has status. Complete. In progress. Monitoring. Vanessa's name, number 4. Status complete. 23. Complete entries match the victim list exactly. 44 others are under surveillance. Waiting for an opportunity to strike. Not isolated misconduct. Industrial-scale civil rights suppression. Organized system silencing dissent through state violence. Evidence is overwhelming now. Video, audio, documents, financial records, testimony, digital forensics, all pointing to the same conclusion. They raided Vanessa to destroy her evidence, discredit her investigation, steal files, silence her like 23 others before. Fatal miscalculation. They raided someone who knew exactly how to build federal cases, someone with resources, authority, connections, someone who fights instead of hides. The raid didn't silence her. It armed her with evidence of their crimes captured from every angle. Ring doorbell, phone audio, neighbor video, live stream, body cams, financial records, witness testimony, training documents, the kill list, and now the whole world watches. Wednesday morning, day of reckoning. Protest begins at City Hall at dawn. Organizers expected 500. By 8 a.m., 4,700 fill the plaza. All 23 raid victims stand on stage together for the first time. The banner behind them reads, 23 Voices, One Truth. Antoine Morris live streams from front. 67,000 watch live. He encourages others to stream too. Decentralized coverage. TikTok explodes with Justice Wednesday trending. Combined viewers hit 840,000 simultaneously. The coalition is powerfully diverse. Black Lives Matter with Latino groups and Asian American organizations. Public defenders in suits. Pastors, rabbis, imams speaking together. Students, elderly, families. Unity across difference. 9 a.m. The mayor's office releases a statement. Full cooperation with federal investigation. Will implement reforms for accountability. Not enough. Chants begin. Disband SOU. Disband SOU. Media everywhere. National shows interview victims live. Devin Harris tells America, they silenced us one by one. Now we speak together. Lorraine Simmons adds, I was ashamed. Now I'm angry. And not alone. Reverend Wright's daughter appears on camera. The reporter asks gently if she's okay. The girl looks at the crowd. The police scared me, but these people make me safe. The moment goes instantly viral. Innocence reclaimed. A counter-protest appears. Police union backed the Blue rally. 200 attended. Media contrast is devastating. Thousands versus hundreds. Optics favor reform heavily. Inside the federal building, Vanessa reviews evidence with FBI Torres and ACLU lawyers. 847 pages, 67 videos, 23 statements. Everything indexed, irrefutable. Her mother arrives unexpectedly, drove 200 miles overnight, carries something wrapped in cloth, her late husband's police badge from the 70s. Your father quit because of men like Monroe. Said uniform meant protecting everyone, not power over anyone. He'd be so proud. Vanessa holds the badge. Her father tried changing the system from the inside. Failed. Quit. Now she finishes what he started. 23 victims gather in the courthouse hallway. Share stories, tears, resolve. Vanessa addresses them. This isn't about me, about all of us. Everyone they tried this on who didn't survive, didn't have resources, couldn't fight. We fight for them too. Group photo taken. 24 people together. The image becomes iconic. Outside, the crowd moves from City Hall to the courthouse. 2,000 march downtown. Helicopters track above. Networks carry live. Courthouse steps fill with families holding photos of other victims. People coming forward for the first time. Emboldened. 5,200 now. Spontaneous speakers. I am a college student. Here because this could have been my mom. White ally. Everybody's problem. Abuse doesn't stop unless we stop it. Elderly black woman. March in 63. March in 25. Same fight. Chants echo. No justice, no peace. And say their names. The crowd reads all 23 names aloud. Collective voice demanding acknowledgement. Peaceful but powerful. The system feels pressure. Sees cameras. Counts votes. 12:47 p.m. Torres texts Vanessa. Berkshire tried leaving the country. Arrested at the airport. The hearing starts in 13 minutes. They know they lost. Show them how badly. Vanessa breathes deep. Adjusts father's badge pinned inside jacket. Walk toward the courtroom. Behind her 23 voices. Above her 5,200 more. The system tried silencing one woman. Created an army instead. 1 p.m. Federal Courthouse. Judge Maria Santos presides. Latina, 58. Zero tolerance reputation. Not a trial. Preliminary hearing for federal civil rights charges. But it feels like Judgment Day. The courtroom was packed. Media. Victims, public, lottery determined seats. The overflow room with video feed holds 400. Outside, live streams capture everything. Prosecution table. Vanessa co-counsel with FBI Torres and DOJ attorneys. Defense holds Monroe's expensive lawyers and Hayes's public defender, Deputy Mayor Berkshire in handcuffs, fresh from airport arrest. Monroe and Hayes wear street clothes, badges stripped. Defense opens. Officers did their jobs. Mistakes happen under pressure. No conspiracy. Just unfortunate errors. Judge Santos looks unimpressed. Vanessa stands. Silence falls. Your Honor, we'll prove this wasn't a mistake. It was a system. Not one raid, 23. Not one officer, dozens. Not random, targeted. We'll show motive, means, opportunity, intent. She projects spreadsheets. 23 raids timeline showing 98% correlation to legal actions against police within 7 days. Defense objects. Coincidence. We'll address probability, Vanessa replies calmly. She plays hot mic footage. Monroe and Hayes in the car. Full audio. The courtroom gasps at, "That black bitch won't stop." Defense tries. Heat of the moment. Not planning. Vanessa plays 3 more recordings. Monroe discusses neutralization repeatedly. Deliberate, calculated, Torres presents digital evidence. Priorities document, 67 names on screen. File created 18 months ago, updated 47 times matching new targets. Santos asks Monroe, "Did you maintain this?" Fifth Amendment, silence. Torres continues. Metadata shows Monroe's login accessed this 127 times, including the night before the Cole raid. Dr. Okonkwo presents accounting. Overtime correlation chart. Hayes 14,300. Monroe authorized 340,000. Monroe's mortgage paid impossibly fast. No other income on taxes. 4,200 monthly cash deposits unexplained. Defense fumbles. Could have other sources. Tax documents show none, yet cash appears. Where from? Judge Reynolds takes the stand. Immunity granted. Testifies coercion, threats, pre-filled warrants. Vanessa's application was submitted 11:47 p.m., signed 11:52 p.m. 5 minutes total. Email shown. Monroe 11:43 p.m. I need a signature tonight. Can I come by? Reynolds shaking. He was outside my house at midnight. It was urgent. Drug dealer. Children at risk. I trusted him. I was terrified. Premeditation established. Vanessa's final move. One more piece. Received this morning. USB drive. Police Union internal server. Leaked. Audio plays. Union board meeting 8 months ago. Berkshire's voice. The city protects officers protecting our interests. Someone causes problems, handles street level. We handle politics. If they complain, that's what SOU exists for. Monroe discourages people. Collective gasp. Political cover for violations. Berkshire's face drains. Monroe stands suddenly. The lawyer grabs him. Vincent, no, I'm done. Please, I followed orders. Berkshire, Union. Chief knew. Wanted critics gone. We delivered. Not going down alone. Courtroom chaos. Monroe admitted everything. Implicated everyone. Santos hammers gavel. Order! To Berkshire. You're a material witness. Not leaving. To prosecutors. Sufficient probable cause. Charges proceed. To defendants. Bail revoked. Federal custody. Eruption. Cheers. Media rushing. Monroe cuffed. Hayes staring down. Berkshire frozen. Outside, news hits 5,000. Celebration explodes. Justice. Chance. Victims embracing. Crying. Release. Vanessa exits to the media. Turns to 23 victims. They join courthouse steps. Together. Today the system worked. Not because it wanted to. Because we refused to let it fail. 24 united. Victorious. Image broadcasts worldwide. 3 months later. June 2025. Monroe pleads guilty. Sentenced to 18 years federal prison. Hayes trial scheduled but plea deal expected. 12 to 15 years. Deputy Mayor Berkshire indicted on RICO charges. Resigned in disgrace. 14 additional officers face various charges. Trials pending. Police chief forced retirement. Pension under review. The city agrees to a $47 million settlement for all 23 victims. No liability admission. Frustrating but pragmatic. Vanessa donates her portion to Civil Rights Legal Fund. Each victim receives a public apology via City Council resolution. The Special Operations Unit disbanded permanently. A new oversight board was established, civilian-led with independent investigators. Body cam policy reformed. Always on, automatic cloud upload, public access database. Warrant review requires 2-judge approval for night raids. Officer training expanded, civil rights and de-escalation mandatory. The Cole case studied in law schools nationwide. Netflix documentary releases, wins Emmy. Vanessa's book deal announced. 23 Voices, How One Raid Exposed a System. National conversation on police accountability reignited. Vanessa was promoted to Deputy U.S. Attorney. Continues civil rights work. Home fully repaired, security upgraded. Still processes trauma through therapy and support groups with other victims. I recently started dating again. Life beyond the case is emerging slowly. The 23 rebuild differently. Devin Harris back to public defense with renewed confidence. Lorraine Simmons wins Investigative Journalism Award, hired by major outlet. Reverend Wright's daughter is thriving now. He leads the Police Reform Coalition. Others rebuilding, some becoming advocates themselves. Officer Reeves reinstated after settlement, now trains recruits on ethics. Judge Reynolds retired, volunteering with the Innocence Project. Annual vigil established. 23 Voices Day, June 15th, verdict anniversary. The community gathers. Neighborhood trust slowly rebuilding through youth programs. Know Your Rights training led by Vanessa and victims. Hope amid ongoing work. But the fight continues. The police union still resists reforms. Some officers transferred were not fired. The new administration could reverse changes. Vigilance required. Justice is never final, always fragile. Late evening, Vanessa's office. The phone rings. Unknown number. She answers now. Lesson learned. Female voice. Miss Cole? Sandra Liu, Federal Public Defender, Los Angeles. I think what happened to you is happening here. Different city, same playbook, 5 years running. They're better at hiding it. I need help. We need help. Vanessa pulls a fresh legal pad. Right, LA pattern investigation? She looks up, a small smile. Tell me everything. Screen fades. Voiceover during credits. This story is based on patterns of real incidents, fictional characters. If you experienced similar injustice, document everything. Seek legal help. Don't stay silent. Your voice matters. Share this story. Comment your thoughts. Subscribe to Black Tales Stories for more justice stories. Remember, systems change only when we refuse to accept them as they are. Thank you for reading. Part 2. Los Angeles coming soon.